Hey everyone out there, I'm Jakejames Lugo, and welcome to the channel. Now, as some of you know, I love playing the Castlevania games, more specifically my favorite part being the music that comes from the games. So I decided, you know what, let's run down a top 5 best of all time music from the entire Castlevania series. Now understand here for a second, this is my list, or at least my top 5 picks of the greatest of all time. I know some of you guys might feel a little different, but let me know about that in the comments section down below. Curious to see where you guys stand on this. So without further ado, let's just dive into this. These are the top 5 greatest Castlevania tracks of all time. Let's kick things off with number 5. Simon's theme from Super Castlevania 4. Simon's theme was first used in the first stage of Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. Since then, it's been used as the main theme for Simon Belmont in a number of games for the series. Funny enough, everybody thinks that the theme originated in Simon's Quest on the NES for some reason. I don't know where that came from, but I've seen people claim this, but when I was looking up info for this video, I found that not to be true. And while I think some of the music of that game is great, I think things really got stepped up a notch when we got to Super Castlevania 4 and got another iconic theme for a character that's synonymous with the Castlevania series. As you listen to this music, it's like you're being taken on the same epic journey that Simon goes on as he makes his way to Dracula's castle. It's a theme that's got a little bit of everything, and it sounds very good. Check it out and you'll see exactly what I mean. An empty tomb from Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. Now I really want to get deep into the series here, because I feel like this is a theme that doesn't get enough love from Castlevania fans. Order of Ecclesia is a great game that should get a re-release at some point, like in a collection or something. I couldn't capture footage of the game on DS because I don't have a system that can do so, but I'll link to some of the channels I borrowed the gameplay footage from in the description down below. Anyway, the music in Order of Ecclesia is great and very different from the rest of the series. The standout track to me, however, is called An Empty Tomb, specifically because it sounds really freaking good. But while I love the original version from the game, the remixes of this track are even better. The version from Castlevania Judgment on the Wii is the one that I feel like is the absolute best remix of this track. Seriously, it's fast-paced, sounds epic, and really wants to make you get out of your seat and do something. Anybody who tells you that this track is bad is lying to you. Don't believe me? Listen for yourself. You'll probably love it as much as I do. Opposing Bloodlines from Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Now I really like this theme. There's some very good remixes of it that have been done over the years, including the one made for the Dracula X collection, but I definitely have an affinity for the original version. While other Castlevania themes have a more epic nature to their music, this one instead exudes a lot more action than anything else. Like things are happening around you right now and you need to jump into it. I mean, look at the stage when you first hear it in Rondo of Blood. There's a village burning in fire, monsters are running around causing havoc, and you've just arrived on the scene ready to fight everything that's in your way. Everything here just works so well together and sounds amazing. The only reason why Opposing Bloodlines isn't higher on my list is because it really hasn't gotten that same level of iconic status as many of the other themes have in the entire series. But I still really dig it, and I'm sure many of you will too once you hear it. Now, all of the tracks I've included on this list so far have been phenomenal, and they come from some great games. But understand, there are so many other music tracks from the entire Castlevania series that do deserve some recognition. But these are the ones specifically that I feel like are the best out of all the games I've played and out of all the games that are out there. these are the music tracks that I feel like are really stand out amongst everything else. And once again, like I said, I'm pretty sure many of you out there feel a little bit differently. There's probably some music tracks that you guys want some recognition more so than others, but put it in the comment section down below. What are your top tracks out of the entire Castlevania series thus far? Now, before we get to my top 2 picks, I want to include a few honorable mentions in here that weren't good enough to make it on the list, but I still wanted to include here anyway to give a little bit of shine. Were any of these music tracks from the Castlevania games included in your top choices? Let me know down below, but here are a few honorable mentions. Right now, let's get to the creme de la creme, the top 2 best out of the entire series of all time. These are the top 2 tracks that I feel like are the absolute best, like hands down, epic win across everything. Castle Dracula from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. There was a very big turning point for the Castlevania series once Symphony of the Night came out on the original PlayStation. Not only did we see the gameplay we'd known for years go in a new direction, but what we heard in the music for Castlevania also changed. Things still sounded epic, but the gothic nature of the visuals also influenced the music in a way that made things sound different for all the right reasons. And that's what I get from Symphony of the Night's Castle Dracula. This track has reached iconic status for not only being the highlight track for one of the best games ever made, but also reintroducing us to a character from the series that we thought we knew, but not as well enough as we thought. There are many great tracks in the game, but Castle Dracula is the music you think of when you think of Symphony of the Night, and heck, some people even think about this track when they think of the original PlayStation. I really can't blame anybody for that because not only was this game very good to play, it was also very good to listen to as well. It really is one of the best music tracks ever made for gaming and arguably one of the best games ever made. And the number 1 best Castlevania track of all time is Vampire Killer from Castlevania on the NES. As much as we like all the music from throughout the Castlevania series, there's one that everyone universally loves. Vampire Killer is hands down the best. It's the one track from what I can tell has been included in almost every single Castlevania game since the series first began on the NES back in 1986. It has been remixed so many times in so many places, but still maintains its fast pace and exciting sound. To me, when I hear Vampire Killer in any game, I feel exciting action and adventure is happening, just like the original premise of the first Castlevania game. It's you and your whip against the forces of darkness. You have nothing but your wits and your reflexes to aid you, but you're going to destroy Dracula and bring peace to the land. With so many great remixes of Vampire Killer, it's hard to choose which one should be on top, but I've always resonated with the version you hear in Castlevania Judgment. It's the same one in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Simon Belmont's stage, as the theme is enhanced and sounds really good. Some people might be inclined to stick with the 8-bit version on NES, or another version that you hear from any other Castlevania game, but the Judgment version is what I feel is the definitive one. Regardless of what I say though, Vampire Killer is the most iconic and well-known music track of the series and instantly defines a lot of what people love about Castlevania. You know it, you've heard it, and it's the only right choice for the best Castlevania track of all time. So when I was coming up with this list, it really came down to a few tracks that I really wanted for the top 3 spots. But really, as I started to look through things a little bit more so and really try to get to the nitty-gritty of every one of these tracks, there was only really one choice that I could put as number 1. There are a lot of different Castlevania games, each with their own different types of style of gameplay and the way that they sound with their soundtracks. But the one thing that most of them have all in common is that they all give some sort of props or recognition to Vampire Killer. We've seen this track get remixed so many times, even in franchises and games that aren't really necessarily Castlevania, and for me, that's just like an iconic level status. That just speaks volumes to me as like a piece of music that is almost instantly recognizable by people that are into video games and even some people that are outside of video games. And there you go, everyone. Those are my top 5 Castlevania music tracks of all time. Like I mentioned before, that's just my personal list and my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure some of you out there feel a little bit different. Whether you agree or disagree with me, put it in the comment section down below. Tell me what are some of your favorite Castlevania music tracks. It could be from any Castlevania game or any other franchise that's related to Castlevania. Put all that in the comment section down below. Let me know also if you guys want to see more videos just like this. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'd be totally open to making more top 5 lists just like this one, but either way, I will talk to you guys again real soon. Thank you so much for checking out this video, everyone. I really appreciate all of your support. Make sure you check out some of the videos I list here on the side and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page via the annotations and links down below. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon. Peace out, and stay epic, everybody.